So built within Schoology is a Conferences app. And you can find the Conferences app on the left-hand side of your menu items right here under Conferences. Now, if this is not already preloaded onto your Schoology, here are the steps to load the Conference app into your Schoology courses. First thing you need to do is go up to the top with this little window pane icon, and this is the App Center. Select that and open the App Center. Once the App Center is open, you are going to scroll and find the Conferences app, which looks like this here. Click on the title and then install the app. Agree to the permissions and then install the app in the courses that you want. You're going to do so by just selecting those courses, and want to make sure you select the courses so that it installs not only for you but also for your students. So we want to click on this checkbox on the left of the course title. Once you select all the courses you want this app installed in, click on Install, and you'll get a confirmation that your changes to the conferences have been saved, and then we'll go back into our course. So again, once you have the Conferences app installed, you'll find it on the left-hand side with all your menu items right here. So let's go ahead and start a conference. To do so, we will click on the Conferences title here. It'll open up into our conferences list, but right now we have no conferences that are active, and so we will create a new conference. We will title this conference. I will title this one 100 for a Schoology 100 course. I can add a start and end time to this conference if I so choose. And then I'm going to hit create. So you see that the conference is now in my list. And once I'm ready to start the conference at a certain time that I choose, then I'm going to just select Start Conference. Once I get in there, it'll ask to join audio with the microphone. So I am going to hit the microphone. I am going to allow that. It's going to give me a little bit of a test. Thumbs up that I hear it.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
And now we are in the conference. So this is the Schoology Conference app. If you've been using Zoom, you'll find a lot of those similar features from Zoom here in this app as well. One is not necessarily better than the other, but Zoom is specialized specifically for those video conferences, and so you might see more stability within the platform via Zoom. But I would recommend that you try this one out and see how you like this one. If this one works for you, this is a great place to have your conferences with your students. So let me give you a quick tour of some of the settings and features of this conference app. So you'll notice right now on the left-hand side, I have two people in this conference. One, me as the teacher, and then I have a student, Eric Brown. Now you'll notice that Eric Brown is locked. Well, just like Zoom, I can control how students interact with me in this video conference. And I can do that via the settings right up here at the top where it says Manage Users. If I select that, you'll notice several options on how I can mute or unmute or allow students to share their screens. I can lock their screens and things like that based on how I want to interact or have my students interact with me and the content that I might be talking about or presenting with my students. There is an ability to have these shared notes, and so perhaps as discussions are going through, your students can go in and type some notes and share that with each other. And of course, there's also a public chat option where students can go in and interact or ask questions and things like that as well. On the student side, there also is the ability for them to have these emojis of raising their hands or giving thumbs up and things like that, which is another way students can interact with you. Touring around some of these settings here, on the Actions button down here at the bottom left, there is the ability to start a poll. So you would have to create one and then have your students interact with that poll. You can upload a presentation, a PowerPoint or a Google slide deck. And then of course you can share videos externally as well, such as a YouTube video. You have the controls down here at the bottom for audio, for the webcam, and then also to share your screen. So not only can you upload presentations into the Conferences app here, but if you need to share your screen, bounce off to another web page or website, you can do so by sharing your screen. Your students can also share their screens, and you can allow them to do that with the settings on the left-hand side for managing users. This conference app also has a whiteboard feature, and those controls for the whiteboard are over here on the right-hand side. And you can see some of the different ways in which you can interact with the whiteboard. Your students can also interact with that whiteboard that you create. Going up to the top, there is a drop-down right here for a lot of different menu items, and one of them being the settings. So I'm going to select that really quick and give you a look at what that is. Here in settings, you have a lot of ways in which you can just kind of help manage your session by audio alerts or pop-ups and things like that of your users interacting with you in your session. I would suggest that some of these things be turned on, especially some of those audio alerts as users join in so you can see who has joined your session. At the top, you can see there is the ability to record this session. Again, when we're talking about students and recording sessions and things like that, please be aware of the privacy policy and follow the GUHSD policy in recording students during these video conferences. So that's just a quick look at some of the features within the Schoology Conference app. Again, try this one out, see how this works with you, and compare it to Zoom, and see which one fits your needs the best. So once I'm done with the conference, I can end the meeting. And when I go back into the conferences section of my Schoology course, you'll notice that the list is empty. That session that I just ended has been removed from the list and has been put into the completed tab. And so if I click on the completed tab, I can see all the sessions that I've ever used within this course. Another way to end a conference is, let's say I have forgotten to click within the conference window ending that conference. I can always go back here into the Schoology app, and you'll notice I have this conference running. Over here, I can select End Conference and end that conference. And once I do, again, all my conferences that I've ever used within this course are listed here in the Completed tab. So let's take a look at the student side of things. So here I am logged in as a student, and how do I then join a conference? Well, again, I got information through some sort of announcement or an assignment or something like that, that at a certain time I need to join as a student one of the conferences that my teacher has set up. So I log into my account, I go into my course, and as a student, I also see on the left-hand side the Conferences app. So I will select that. It opens up, and what I see is that currently there is a conference in progress. So in order to enter that conference, I will then select the title of that conference. And again, as a student, I need to allow certain things. In this case, I need to join with my microphone and allow that on my browser. All right, so here I am within the course. I see the users. My teacher is here. Here I am as this student, Eric Brown. When I click on my name here, I can set some sort of status. So let's say I'm interacting with the class, with my teacher. I can give a thumbs up, I can raise my hand, I can do one of those things. So I can interact that way with my teacher. Also on this side you can see there's the shared notes, but my teacher has the shared notes locked. So my teacher would have to unlock it in order for me to view and interact with these shared notes. There is also the public chat, so I can interact with my teacher, ask questions, and whatever it is through the chat. You notice down here at the bottom, there is a place for me to interact and to pause my audio or mute my audio. Also, I can share my webcam, and if the teacher allows me to share my webcam, I can do that. I do have some setting features up here as well. that I could set as I interact with the session. So this is just a quick view of the student side of the Schoology Conference app. So let's take a look at the student side of things. So here I am logged in as a student, and how do I then join a conference? Well, again, I got information through some sort of announcement or an assignment or something like that, that at a certain time I need to join as a student one of the conferences that my teacher has set up. So I log into my account, I go into my course, and as a student, I also see on the left-hand side the Conferences app. So I will select that. It opens up, and what I see is that there is a conference in progress. So in order to enter that conference, I will then select the title of that conference. And again, as a student, I need to allow certain things. In this case, I need to join with my microphone and allow that on my browser. Once I hear the test, I accept it, and now I am in the Conferences app. You can see here's my teacher, GUHSDtech, and then here I am. Now, just like any other type of session, there are ways a teacher can control the participation of their students inside the session. So right now, my interaction by my teacher is locked. You also remember we looked at the shared notes on the teacher side, and right now here are the shared notes, but those shared notes are locked. I do not have the ability as a student to interact with those notes at the moment until the teacher releases it. The teacher did leave the public chat open, and so that's what I have here. And so if I need to, I can then chat with my teacher. There are basic controls for the student as well, down here at the bottom, to mute and unmute the microphone, to share their webcam, and of course there's some specific settings that students can set up for their session on the top right corner. Students can view and interact, and just like Zoom, you can give control of certain things to students, like sharing their screens or interacting with the whiteboard and things like that. So that's just a quick look at the student side of the Conferences app within Schoology.